Hello there, you're welcome to this edition of Power Wheel, a production of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN. We'll bring you all the reports and more shortly. I am Chinwenwa Anyanwu. The new Minister of Power, Engineer Saleh Maman, says the challenges in the power sector are surmountable with commitment and cooperation from all stakeholders.
Engineer Maman made the statements when he and the Minister of State, Mr. Godi J.D. Agba, held an inaugural meeting with the Permanent Secretary, Mr. Louis Edozin, directors and heads of agencies of the ministry at the Powerhouse in Abuja, marking their formal assumption of duty.
Let me seize this rare opportunity to thank the Almighty Allah and His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari for finding me worthy to serve not only as a member of the Executive Council, but also as the Minister of Power. I need not to remind you of the challenges ahead of us as a ministry at this crucial level of our socio-political development as a nation. You may agree that power is not only the central nervous system, but also the indispensable vehicle for delivery of all government policies as they relate to the social, economic, and industrial development of any country. There is no reason why we cannot change these despicable and miserable narratives. This is what Nigeria expects from us as we begin this new journey. We must therefore brace up to face these challenges.
Engineer Maman said he will maintain an open door policy to avail every staff, no matter their status, the opportunity to contribute their quota to the new course of action. While assuring the public of his commitments, he said,
"But I can assure you of my diligence and sense of commitment. I intend to apply myself totally to this assignment in order to justify the confidence of Mr. President by extension all Nigeria that have entrusted me with this rare opportunity. I also intend to operate an open door policy to avail every staff, no matter their status, the opportunity to contribute their quota to the due course of action. The immediate task is to acquaint myself with the tasks ahead. Therefore, I will welcome every information or advice that will enhance our efficiency. Every advice must be motivated by a sense of truth, honesty, and patriotism."
The Permanent Secretary, Mr. Louis Edozin, intimated the ministers of activities of the ministry as he presented irrelevant policy documents to them, including the Electric Power Sector Reform Act, EPSRA 2015.
The briefing files have already been submitted to your office and are on your desk, as I pointed out. Honorable Minister, as you go through it, familiarize yourself with their work. You may pass any comment and directive to the Minister of State, who will then return them to us for necessary action.
Edozin expressed delight at the appointment of the ministers and pledged the readiness of the management and staff of the ministry to support and cooperate with them to make their tenure a success.
The directors and myself, as I told you in your office, are 110%, not 100% Minister of State, 110% committed to supporting you to achieve the vision you articulated. It is our duty to do so, and all of us here will pledge our commitment to do so. So, Honorable Minister, welcome to the Ministry of Power. Minister of State, welcome to the Minister of Power.
The directors in the ministry and the heads of agencies made a formal introduction of themselves to the minister and his counterpart while briefing them about the activities in their agencies. Briefing the ministers, the Managing Director, CEO of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, Mr. Usman Gold Mohammed, said TCN was implementing the Transmission Rehabilitation and Expansion Program TREP to transform the power transmission network after attracting huge multilateral funding.
As we speak, Honorable Minister, we have $1.661 billion investment in TCN, which came from various donors. But the component of transmission rehabilitation and expansion program is actually four important milestones.
Mr. Mohammed summarized the 4 milestones needed to further develop the grid to include grid system stability, the installation of supervisory control and data acquisition SCADA system, procurement of spinning reserve and critical investments to upgrade and expand transmission lines and substations nationwide. He also mentioned the strict enforcement of the market rules, especially on the distribution companies, DISCOs, to instill discipline in the electricity markets.
Under the market rule, it's very clear, Section 74, which the Honorable Minister approved with the advice of the PAMSEC, is very clear that a licensee like TCN, that depends on the DISCO for its revenue, can actually petition a DISCO that is not performing and get recourse under the Act. In fact, you can recommend the liquidation of a DISCO. And Honorable Minister, as we speak with you, we have actually recommended the liquidation of one DISCO, as we speak, because of lack of performance. And when under that Act, you can liquidate the DISCO for non-performance and you pay them notice. Thank you.
The TCN management and staff wish the new Minister of Power and his counterparts a successful administration as it translates to an improved power sector and electricity supply experience in Nigeria. To better inform the public about power transmission, the leadership of the Nigerian Association of Energy Correspondents has paid a courtesy visit on the management of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, seeking for more access to information about its activities in the power sector.
The national chairman and leader of the delegation, Mr. Olatunde Dodundawa, who was received by the management team of TCN, said the association was also seeking for support towards its annual energy conference. He said,
"It provides platform for operators, for stakeholders, and then other players in the industry to come together, and discuss any issue that has been affecting either government policy or other things. So the value chain could be very smooth and very, very profitable for all stakeholders."
The MD of TCN, Mr. Mohammed, who welcomed the association in company of his executive management team, said he was ready to grant their request for participation in their annual conference, as well as interview on the operations and role of the TCN in the power sector.
If it is about power sector, I think we are ready to answer. And anyway, I felt all these executive directors should be able to support me, so don't worry.
Mr. Mohammed then responded to the various questions from members of the association. He said TCN was expanding the transmission network based on credible study it had conducted, as he urged the distribution companies, DISCOs, to also do same for their network.
We are not expanding grid based on hearsay. Any DISCO that asks you that TCN, what TCN is doing is not in line with their business model, ask them questions. Ask them questions. Which study did they conduct that give them that question that they're doing? You don't expand electricity based on hearsay now. We have conducted a credible study which is called 20-year least cost transmission expansion plan. That 20-year least cost transmission expansion plan, look at the need of all the distribution companies and come up with a report to say this is how you should expand. Are you hearing me? Now, because the DISCO, many of them are not performing, they are not even investing. You understand? To escape from their failure of lack of investment, they will say we are putting capacity where they don't need it. It is not like that. In fact, what we are doing, we are not putting capacity only. What we are doing is that we are putting capacity plus redundancy. For electricity to be stable, you have to have what they call redundancy. And the least you can have is what they call N-1, which means any place where they need 60 kVA, you are supposed to put 60 times 2. And that is what we are doing under the Transmission Rehabilitation and Expansion Program.
The TCN head said the company is strategically supporting critical economic and national development by planning to resolve the challenges of bulk power supply across strategic places that could be transformed to cities like Dubai. He mentioned the partnership it is having with Eco Atlantic City in Lagos as one of such strategies.
We are working to connect Eco Atlantic under the eligible customer declaration now. One of the biggest problems of Eco Atlantic is lack of power supply, and we are ready to provide it. Very soon you will see the advert for the procurement of the line from Lekki to Eco Atlantic and also the substation inside Eco Atlantic.
The press has the duty of informing the members of public about public policies and strides. We hope that such meetings will continually reveal the achievements and action plans of TCN to Nigerians. Let's take a break for a message. Please stay tuned.
Do not build under transmission power lines for your safety and health. Electricity power lines and substations, either for power transmission or power distribution services, are extremely dangerous when exposed to direct human contact. These power lines and substations transmit electricity that lights up our homes and offices, power our computers, TVs, and refrigerators. On the other hand, the same electricity when exposed is extremely dangerous. It can shock, electrocute, and kill anyone on its way. That is why everyone must adopt safety measures whenever we use or are close to electricity facilities like power lines or substation or transformers. For the safety of the people and animals, governments all over the world have approved way leave or right-of-way of 50 meters for 330 kV power lines and 30 meters for 132 kV power lines, and for 33 kV lines, the way leave is 15 meters. People are not expected to be found within this way leave or right-of-way for safety reasons. The lines can suddenly cut and fall to the ground with very disastrous consequences such as fire and electrocution of anybody and destruction of anything, be it vehicle, houses, or vegetation on its line. It has also been established that power lines and substation emit electromagnetic fields, EMF, which is dangerous to human health. The World Health Organization, WHO, has warned that people who spend long hours under or close high-tension lines stand the risk of being affected by EMF and be vulnerable to cancer, leukemia in children, miscarriages among pregnant women, and other terrible diseases. It is therefore advisable not to build any structure or operate any business under or near any electricity high-tension lines or substations. TCN wants you to stay alive, stay safe, stay healthy, avoid power lines. This message is from the management of Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN.
The Maryland Transmission Substation is one of such facilities in the heart of Lagos. The Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, is making top preparations to upgrade its equipment towards delivering more bulk power. Power Wheel was at the substation recently and brings you a feel of its operations.
At the Maryland substation, the Senior Manager System Operations Engineer Dewupo Tolulokwe Omaumi in an interview said the substation has 4 lines connecting to it. There are 2 lines coming in from Ikorodu substation, while 2 others feed the substation from Ikeja West and Akangba substations.
All these falls on a 132 kV bus bar from where the 3 power transformer, as you can see, takes their supply. The transformer at that edge is T130 MVA transformer. The one close to us here is T330 MVA transformer. The T1 and T330 MVA transformer were tied together. You know, they have the same rating. They were tied together at the secondary side.
Engineer Dewupo said, although there are plans to upgrade the substation, so far it has a wide array of coverage area with combined capacity of transformers deployed in that axis of the Lagos region.
T1, T330 MVA transformer were tied together at that secondary side to feed T1 15 MVA transformer at the district side and T3A 15 MVA transformer also allows 33 kV feeder, while T260 MVA, the one in the middle, is 60 MVA transformer. That one feeds T2A 15 MVA transformer, PTC 33 and Ajegunle 33 kV feeders. Okay. And these 33 kV feeders have the 11 kV. We fed the 15 MVA, the 315 MVA are from 11 kV side. Our distribution side are the 33 kV switch yard.
Speaking of the communities and towns that are being served directly from the Maryland substation, she said,
we are feeding Mende where we are, Antony side. It has a limit at Ikeja leg. We feed Ketu, Ojota, Mobolaji Bankantoni, at Debunri, as well as this leg, Ajegunle, Alakpere under Ajegunle before Ikorodu.
Recently, the managing director, CEO of TCN, Mr. Usman Guru Mohammed, revealed plans to commit about $5 million to digitalizing the control rooms of all transmission substations nationwide. Reflecting on the impact of this, especially with the planned upgrade of the Maryland substation, Engineer Deuko said it will make the control rooms more sophisticated for ease of operation and to control power equipment at the switchyard remotely. She also lauded TCN in-house engineers on the increased capacity to do preventive maintenance, adding that such exercises have also raised their learning capacity.
I've learned a lot. As system operator, firstly, I need to see to the safety of the personnel, as we are now, and equipment. Two, when we resume, we take inspection, we do inspections. Often, we do that morning, when we come in the afternoon, the middle of the night, early in the morning, to see to the equipment, to know whether they are defective.
With the upgrade and expansion project, TCN believes the Maryland substation will be positioned to deliver more bulk electricity for onward supply to Nigerians by Ikeja Disco. The coverage area of the transmission network is vast across states of the Federation. To better manage this network, the management of the TCN segmented it into regions to cover the operations at multiple states. The General Manager, Bauchi Region of TCN, Engineer Ali Ibrahim Sherifai, explains the activities in his region in this interview segment. Happy viewing. What is the coverage area of this region?
Bauchi region has 3 sub-regions and 1 work center. The sub-regions are Jos, Gombe, and Yola, while the work center is Maiduguri work center. And then the states that the Bauchi region covers are Jos, Bauchi, Gombe, Yobe, Maiduguri, Adamawa, Taraba, and some parts of Kaduna State. The percentage that we used to take from the region, if not because of the problem of load rejection from some of our distribution companies, I can say it's not more than 8 to 10% of the generated energy.
TCN is implementing its rehabilitation and expansion program. What are the projects in this region?
When I took over in 2017, in almost each of the sub-region, we installed a transformer in-house. In Maiduguri, a 30-40 MVA mobile transformer was installed and commissioned in-house by our staff. That was in May 2018. The same May 2018 also, a 30 MVA transformer was installed and commissioned in Gombe. In November, Bauchi transmission station, that is just sub-region, installed 60 MVA transformer. It commissions it. While in Yola sub-region, a 3040 MVA mobile transformer that was installed by a contractor, was commissioned by our in-house management. Then in 2018, we had a lot also. In 2018, that's where we did a rigorous job. The Damaturu 330 132 33 kV substation that was taken over from the contractor, that is Cadillac International. The in-house works on 330 kV bay, that is the turn-in, turn-out, Gombe, Damaturu, Maiduguri, and then the 150 MVA 330 132 33 kV power transformer, 75 MVAR 330 kV power reactor, 60 MVA 132 33 kV power transformer, including it is outgoing 3 number 33 kV feeders, were commissioned in 2018. The same 2018, the Molai, which is at Maiduguri, 330 132 33 kV substation, was commissioned. The 150 MVA 330 132 33 kV transformer and 75 MVAR power reactor were commissioned in the same 2018.
What are the new projects in this region?
The management is adding a lot of projects. A lot of projects in our sub-regions and the work centers are coming up. And in some of the regions, there are some even that they are ongoing. So I would like to buttress my point on this. Like in Gombe, there will be an additional 1x300 MVA 330 132 33 kV power transformer with another 1x100 132 33 kV power transformer of the same capacity also will be installed at Jos sub-region. Whereas in Yola, there will be a proposed 1x150 MVA 330 132 33 kV power transformer with 1x100 MVA 132 33 kV power transformer. Whereas here in Bauchi, as I'm talking, a 330/132 kV switchyard will be constructed, which will have a 1x150 MVA 330 132 33 kV power transformer and 2x60 MVA 132 33 kV transformer will be upgraded inside the Bauchi transmission switcher. Some of our towers in some of our sub-regions and the work center, we used to have, in some occasions, vandalism of tower members. Wherever we see any vandalism that is going on, we should try and explain to those people that are within the area to be informing us and inform the securities that are within.
TCN is making so much investments to improve bulk power supply experience to Nigerians. You can help them by safeguarding its installations and reporting suspicious vandals moved to TCN office or the nearest security agency. Thanks for being with us on this segment. We're bringing you more reports in the Power Flash segment. Please don't go away. We appreciate you for sticking with us on this program. Join us next week on the same station for a refreshing edition of Power Wheel. This episode and the previous ones are available on our YouTube channel, and you can connect with us on these other platforms showing on your screen. I am Chinwenwa Anyang. See you next time.